Alright, you guys, welcome back to the channel. We're going to be talking about the specs on a 1982.5 Buick Grand National Regal. So this is, from what I was reading, the first one that came out. So this is before your black, your really iconic. I think that one's like 87. Cool fact, Devin's uncle actually used to have one. I think his was more the 87 body style though. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump into price. The base price was $9,736.06, but it looks like prices could get upwards of the $16,000, almost $17,000 range. So the engine on this one, this is a turboed coupe model. They do have T-tops in them. Anyway, so engine is a V6 iron block, iron heads. It's a 3.8 liter, 231 cubic inches. The bore and stroke ratio, or bore and stroke, is 3.8 to 3.4 inches. Compression ratio is 8 to 1. Horsepower is 175 at 4,000 RPM. Torque is 290 at 2,400 RPM. It did have hydraulic valve lifters. There's 4 main bearings. Fuel system is a turbocharged Rochester Quadrajet. Lubrication is pressurized. The electrical system is a 12 volt, as most cars are. Exhaust is a single pipe to a dual. The transmission is a turbo hydromatic 350. The ratios for first is 2.52 to 1. Second is 1.52 to 1. Third is 1 to 1. And reverse is 1.94 to 1. The differential ratio is 3.08 to 1. Steering ratio is 14.4 to 1. Turns lock to lock is 3.3. And turning circle radius is 37.1 feet. Moving on to the brakes, they are hydraulic power assisted. Up front you had a 10.5 inch disc, and in the rear you had a 9.5 by 2 inch drum. Moving on to the chassis and body, it is a body on a frame. It's a 2-door coupe like we talked, so hard top. Some of them did have a T-top. The one in particular I was reading about was a T-top. It is engine in the front, rear wheel drive. Moving on to suspension. The front is an independent heavy duty coil springs, tube shocks, heavy duty anti-roll bar. Rear is a 4-length heavy duty coil springs, tube shocks, heavy duty anti-roll bar. Now moving on to the wheels, we have a stock styled aluminum. The front and rear were both 14 by 6 inches. Moving on to the tires, it came with a Yokohama Radial A378. Front and rear were both 215/70 R14s. Moving on to our weights and measurements on the car. The overall curb weight was 3,265 inches. Wheelbase was 108 I said inches for curb weight. Curb weight was pounds, sorry. Wheelbase is 108.1 inches. Overall length is 200.6 inches. Overall width is 71.6 inches. Overall height was 54.5 inches. Front track is 58.5 inches. Rear track is 57.7 inches. Fluid capacities, crankcase is 5 quarts. Cooling system is 12.68 quarts. Fuel tank is 18 gallons and transmission is 10 quarts. Moving on to performance, it did 0 to 60 in 9.6 seconds and a quarter mile in 17.3 seconds at 81 miles an hour. That information came from Motor Trend when they did a test on it. Moving on to the production of them, they only made 215 of them, so that makes them very rare in that case, but currently there are only 20 of them that are known to be with factory equipped 3.8 liter engines. The rest are a naturally aspirated 4.1 liter V6 engine. So the guy I was reading about he said you won't see another one at a car show. He said most of them you get towards your older late end of the 80s. So that's pretty cool. Anyways, you guys, y'all have a great day. Y'all hustle harder.